Hey, hey, family. You know what time it is. It's your girl, Delisha, your Millennial Empowerment Catalyst, where we get to encourage, inspire, and uplift young women around the world with our stories, which is someone's get up plan. Sis, you are not alone, or guess what? A survival kit. And today, we normally do it in the night, but today we have the amazing Cherie Griffin Dunn. And we're talking about who said that you are not qualified? Who said it? So we have like I said, we have the amazing Cherie Griffin Dunn. She's the host of Six Figure Chick, aka Six Figure Chick with Six Kids. Woo, woo. She's a high performing woman, leading voice in personal and business growth and commanding authority. She's an entrepreneur, a renowned motivational speaker, and founder of High Women Performance Academy. High Performance Women Academy, a company dedicated to consciously shifting the way we live, lead, speak, and work. Fueled by her motto, be bold and rise up. Cherie loves speaking to moms, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and executives, leaving them renewed, re-energized, and ready to rediscover who they are, what they want, and what they deserve. Cherie's background has made her a sought-after public speaker, training, and facilitator. Please help me welcome the six-figure chick herself, Miss Cherie Griffin Dunn. Woo! It's good to have you here, Cherie.
Wow, thank you so much, Delisha. It's so wonderful to be here with you. I appreciate that amazing introduction. I think this show is so important, and it really is a catalyst to where we're going in the future in terms of helping to empower and motivate young women and women alike around the world. So thank you for what it is that you do, girl.
Thank you. It's good to have you here. I'm so ready for this success story. So, talking on today's topic, who said that you are qualified? Can you share with us your story and coming out of that?
Yes, today marks a very important day here in the United States. It is Juneteenth, and it is now considered a federal holiday, which marks so many amazing things to come in our future. What it means is that people around the world are finally recognizing that there was a time in our life when Black people were enslaved. And it's today that we are realizing it's time to say freedom reigns across the United States and America, because it's a win for those of color all over the world. I bring that up because there was a time when I couldn't be proud like I am today and stand here and say that I have never been told I wasn't qualified. I've been told that so many times, but it hasn't been by the right people, right? It's been by those who have held us oppressed. And when I think back and try to understand a little bit more about why that happened, a lot of it has to come with fear, right? It's fear of seeing someone who doesn't look like them progress. And so I've been a person who's always been determined to win and to fight, not only for myself, but for others as well, to ensure that they don't go through what I went through, where they don't have to feel left out. They don't have to feel as though they are working so very hard as an individual of who they are and what they do, always being top of their game, never having a moment to rest, always having to be ready. And that's the experience that I've had throughout my life. Growing up as a young child in a biracial household, being singled out in school as the person who was Black, that's the beginning of understanding that there's going to be struggle in your life
So
because
true.
you don't fit, right? You don't fit in. And so as I went through my life, trying to stand strong and powerful within who I be and love me, there were still more struggles that came because remember, we live in a world where unconscious biasness begins to rule and judge who we think we are. And I was subject to that. I was subject to always living how other people felt or thought about me. I was afraid of always being judged. So I tried to be as perfect as I possibly could. You know, today we call that the imposter syndrome, right? Where so many of us Black women suffer from that. And, you know, having my career and going into corporate America, I thought life would be a little different, but it really wasn't. There, people then had the opportunity to tell me that I wasn't qualified for certain positions. And I was passed over for promotions because I didn't look the part. I wasn't the right color. You know, maybe it was that they didn't like my hair or they didn't like the way that I spoke. Whatever their reasoning was, the result of that was that it left me broken. It left me depressed and sad about who I am as a person. When you aren't validated for what you bring to the table, it makes you feel less than.
So true.
And so to have to then remotivate yourself to show yourself that you do matter in this world and that it is important for you to leave an impact, it takes a lot, right? I really, really understand the proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child, because that's all you can depend on sometimes. When you feel like everyone else outside of your community doesn't support you and doesn't see what other people see, or they don't see what you see when you look in the mirror. And that plagued me for many, many years in my career. But I continued to get back up one more time. And I believe I did that just simply because I had so much resting on that, right? How many of us have families that are relying on us, right? We have bills, right, that we have to pay. And so because of that, it put me in a place of really becoming, I would say, dependent on where I was and not really feeling like I needed to change because I couldn't, because I had so many other people relying on me. Yeah. So I was subjected to whatever their response was. I had to be okay with it. And if it was, you know, don't wear something, don't wear something that's revealing of my shape, then I had to go find something else to cover myself up. And so it's been a, you know, tumultuous time in my life of always covering myself up, of never truly really emerging to be the person who I am and who I should be. And so it takes communities like yours and, you know, other communities, you know, that's why I created the High Performing Women Academy, a place where you belong, a place where you can come and cry, a place where you can come and say, I need help with this, and get the help that you need so that you can become stronger to face whatever it is you need to face when you walk outside that door. Because, oh, I know how difficult it can be. I remember I used to say to my husband, I wake up putting boxing gloves on to go into my job. And I'm suited in armor. What a heavy burden to put on yourself to try to be whoever someone else wants you to be for you to matter. So thank you. I love, you know, this platform because it allows women like myself to, you know, show other women that you can take that armor off.
So true.
You really can.
That is awesome, Cherie. I really, really love your story. Oh my goodness. This is so uplifting and encouraging to so many. So one of my questions is, when was your turning point to say, you know what? No, this is not me. I must be my authentic self. When was your turning point?
You know, I wish I had the golden story that said, oh, wow, it was only, half a year that I realized that and I got strong enough to say that's it. But, I'm still going through it. I am still going through it as, 15 years later. I'm still emerging into giving myself permission to be that authentic person, to live all out, and to not have to worry about the negative self-talk and not have to worry about what other people say. It's real. It's still raw. It's there. I hope one day I can tell you that I've completely come out of it and I'm free of it, but I can't. I'm still going through it. And I think it takes a long time. Think about it. It has taken so many years for all of that to happen, right? It's over 40 plus years that it has been that I've experienced all of this. So it's going to take some time for it to completely be gone. But I just consciously every day live my life to be my true authentic self.
That is, I love that, Sheree, because many persons, when they already come out the situation that they've been in, they made it seem like, hey, I'm not facing it no more, that I'm so perfect, and they're not showing that other side to say, hey, it is still a struggle, but I'm doing the best, to not allow that to determine or dictate to me. So I love that. I love the way you put that together there. And I'm sure a lot of women can relate that, hey, it is still a struggle, but don't allow that to determine who you are. Don't allow that to dictate to you. So yeah, that is good.
Yeah, we're all everyone goes through something. And, we're not alone in what we go through. And to me, what matters most is our effort that we put in every single day to really live out our lives and our dreams and to really be the best version of who we are. Every day that we wake up, we get another opportunity at that. And so why not work at it again? It's so worth it.
That's good. That's good. So I remember wanting to be validated by persons. When they would validate me, that's who I would believe that I am. And I would live according to that, and in that moment, I was broken. And whatever words they would spoke over to me, I would internalize and say, hey, that's me, because I did not know my value. But what are some advice can you give to that young girl or that young woman who is in the same state that I was in? What encouraging advice can you give to that person?
Yeah, the first thing that I would suggest to them is to try a little exercise of journaling, really writing down. I do this exercise with a lot of my clients, and I find it absolutely a fantastic exercise for people to realize, one, who they are, and two, how people see them. Because that to me is the disconnect, is that we go through life thinking that people don't perceive us a certain way. They don't see us as being great. They don't see us as being amazing, right? Because we're hearing negative self-talk and the chatter just gets louder and louder when we don't know how to shush it. So one of the exercises that I love doing is that I make 2 columns. One column is, how do I see myself? And, it could be, I think I'm pretty. I think I'm a great speaker. I'm a great mom. I'm a supportive friend. I'm committed to, doing something great in the world. But then the next step is go out and ask 5 people, who do they think you are? When they see you, what do they think? And I'm telling you, every time I am down or I feel like the negative chatter is so loud and my self-worth becomes so low that I feel like I can't get out of bed, I can then take that piece of paper and look and go, no, these people said that when they see me, I help them. I change their life. I give them meaning for their own life, that I am supportive for them. And so it is so valuable to have words of affirmations from other people about who you are as an individual, because that's what helps to pierce the soul of your belief so that you can begin to see who you really are and the impact that you have on this world. Because I think sometimes we're so busy just doing, just going through the motion, just trying to make it, that we forget to take the moment that we need to be reminded that there are people who think we're great. Because face it, sometimes your family just is not there to support you in that way.
That's right.
And when you're looking for them and yearning for that confirmation from them, sometimes it doesn't come, and it just puts you deeper and deeper into your negative chatter. And so I found writing down who you think you are, when you think of you, what do you think of? What are you good at? And asking 5 people, when they think of you, what do they think of? What comes to mind? And then keeping that data for those low points, because we will have those times,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And understanding that the victory is our choice of how long we will stay in that space. Right? How long are we going to allow ourselves to be down over negative chatter that may not even be real? And I say may not because I don't want to disvalue someone's thought, right? Because if you're having it, something's there. And we can do another exercise to dig deep and find out exactly where it's coming from to help rewrite that rule. But I think this is a great exercise for anyone to do to really help uplift them, to motivate them, and to keep them going and seeing that, girl, you have so much to give to the world. You have so much to deliver to your family, right? It's our job to meet people where they're at and to stop creating this level that we want them to be at and creating this image of them, who we want them to be. Right. And that for me just took a lot of anxiety away from me, a lot of pressure for me to think that, I have 6 boys. Okay. Let's be real. I have 6 Black males in America where every day I am worried about them coming home at night. I have 3 who are in their 20s, their early 20s, and they are individuals who are a part of the rap culture. They have gotten themselves into trouble. They've gotten into car accidents. They've done a lot of things where me as an individual could take that to say I'm not a good parent. Right? Because I could be listening to society that says your kids need to be perfect or you're not a great parent. That's wrong. Right? Because we know that each person has their own ability to make a choice. And what our job is to just provide a strong foundation for them so that they understand the difference between what's right and what's wrong. But sometimes we have to make the wrong choice so that we can learn from it. And again, it's that, how do I get back up? What tools have I learned? Who's in my community to help me get back up so that I'm not stuck into that low space in my life? And that's when you don't have anyone in your community, you don't have someone, take your document that you wrote where people said that you were amazing and read it. Go back to the source of you showing how amazing and feeling amazing and knowing that you are someone who deserves to be here.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. I like that. And you mentioned that sometimes your family is not going to be there to support you. And I want to ask, what advice can you give to someone who is attached, emotionally attached to wanting their family to support, but they cannot get that support from their family and they end up keep crushing themselves, staying in that blanket of hopelessness? What advice can you give to that person?
Yeah, I've been there. I think that anytime you become an entrepreneur and decide that you want to make a choice, that other people have to buy into your vision now, and they don't understand it. Sometimes it can make them not supportive. And then on other times, it's just the type of people they are, right? For me, I just literally, again, I go with this logic. I'm just a logic person. I'm like, what is it doing to me if my family doesn't validate me? Right? At the end of the day, you have to find that out. Because I think sometimes we don't want to ask that question because the tears will fall, because it hurts when you know that your own family is not there to support you. But we have to also remember that, do they still love you? And do they always have to support you in what it is you do in order to love you?
So true.
And the answer is no, right? So remember that what you're doing is what you're doing. And what they're doing is what they're doing. Can you have a conversation with them? Are you still able to have, some sort of a love exchange with them? What type of relationship can you begin to create with them outside of what your vision is, outside of what it is that you want? Because sometimes we have to go with different levels of support from different people.
True.
And maybe it's, my family is just my family, right? How about we just love our crazy uncles, right?
That's good.
love the people in our family where they're at, and just know that's a part of my lineage, that's a part of my history, and it's okay that they're that way. Because I now know that I just can't count on them for that support. So I need to create another level of support for myself. I need friends. I need a community. I need church. I need programs like yours. I need something that's going to keep me motivated and powered up to continue on my own journey. I think sometimes we forget that if your family is not supporting you, that means it's your journey. It's not theirs. Mm-hmm. And we're not here to force them to support us, because maybe they just need to go through some things before they can support us. See, we forget that maybe they're not supporting us because they see us in them. Maybe there was a dream that they had for themselves that fell through. And it hurts so bad that they don't know how to come back from that. So the question then becomes, are you offering them the support that they need to grow and get past that moment? Right? It's not always a one way, right? Asking them, how can I be here to support you? Are we asking them that question? Right? Instead of us being extremely selfish and saying, you don't love me because you're not supporting me in my goals. You're just yelling at me, or we're having confrontation about this, and you're preventing me from my goal. Well, let's go another step further. How can they prevent you from your goal? Again, that might be something in you and your negative self-talk and your subconscious mind that needs to be cleaned up, because maybe you have a fear of your own success. Maybe you're telling yourself, you have a rule that's telling yourself, I can't be successful unless my family supports me like this. That's not really reality, right? Mm-hmm. So we ourselves are not truly living with true capacity of who we are if we're putting other expectations on other people that don't exist.
That's good. You said a mouthful. Well, family, you have heard it from Cherie, the six-figure chick herself, who said that you're not qualified. Now, you all heard her success story, and we have Miss Cindy Boleg. Thank you for joining. She said, well, let me read the comments. Author Latoya Hampton, she said, yes, one day at a time, you are not alone. Cindy Boleg, we need that reminder at times. This is good. Come on, let your family be your family first of all. And Lurleen Storm, thank you again for tuning in. And with that nugget, all those good nuggets that Cherie has dropped for us, where can someone find you? And what is your last advice for the persons that are tuning in?
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you for the comments. That's wonderful. You can reach me at Cherie Griffith Dunn on Instagram. You can reach me. My website is CherieGriffithDunn.com, or you can go to Facebook and check me out over there. I'm at Cherie Griffith Dunn. And don't forget to go and check out my podcast, the Six Figure Chick Podcast. You can go to YouTube and subscribe so that you could be alerted every time that we drop one of our podcasts, which is weekly. So my final thoughts for everyone would be, just be. Take some deep breaths in and feel your breathing, and just be. And just know that everything that you need is right within. You have the power to change your life, to do all of the things you've ever wanted, to ask for the support that you need. It's all within you. And so reach out, speak up. My tagline is be bold and rise up. Please don't be afraid to ask for help. We're here for you.
Thank you, Cherie. Thank you. And please, if you have not followed Cherie, I encourage you to follow her. She's doing an amazing things. However, she's my coach also. And because I'm attached to her, I could tell you that she's amazing. Yes, Cherie. Thank you again. Once again, if you have not liked our page, I encourage you to like our page on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, all under Delisha Murray, your millennial empowerment catalyst. And also, I have 2 more spots available for those who want a free complimentary coaching, confident self-empowerment session with me. You can let me know. I'll be happy to get on a call and let's get clear about our confidence building. So yes, once again, thank you again for joining. Remember that your story matters, you matters, and your voice matters. So thank you again, wherever you are. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and see you next time on Leveling Up Your Confidence. It looks good on you. Have a good one.